I will not make a Brexit joke. I will not make a Brexit joke. I will not make a Brexit joke.
Let June the 23rd go down in our history as our Independence Day! Independence Day! Independence Day!
Independence Day 2, because literally everything these days has to be a franchise. I wouldn't be surprised if soon enough they announce Citizen Kane 2, The Return of Rosebud. Independence Day Resurgence sees the return of aliens to Earth, with the MacGuffin of this one being that they want to drill into the Earth's core for fuel for their ships or something. Anyway, it's up to most of the cast of the first one and a few new characters to deal with it. To be honest, the plot of this movie is actually completely secondary to the sheer level of destruction and carnage, and in that respect it is amazing. Director Roland Emmerich has upped the ante by an insane amount. He was not exactly known for his subtlety, but when this kicks off we see entire cities getting sucked up and absolutely smashed to bits. There's even a shot of the Burj Khalifa getting thrown directly at the London Eye as basically the whole of London disintegrates. You've got to feel sorry for the tourism industry in these films. Will Smith is unfortunately not one of the cast members returning for this instalment, and it is the less for it. I can imagine they approached him, and then after reading the script he was like, "You do know I've just been offered Suicide Squad, right? No, like literally they're coming round to my house later with wheelbarrows full of money. Pass." Some random guys cast as Will Smith's son, you're like, sweet, it's going to be a really great story about a son trying to follow in his father's impossibly glorified footsteps. But do we get that? Nope, we get 2 hours of Liam Hemsworth being Liam Hemsworth. Unfortunately, the combined efforts of Will Smith's son, white Will Smith, and Chinese Will Smith don't amount to half of the personality of the Fresh Prince of Planet Earth. But we do have a saviour in the almighty Jeff Goldblum. Can we just start casting Jeff Goldblum in everything, please? Jeff Goldblum is just the most Jeff Goldblum guy ever, man. It's amazing. I could watch him all day, and I wish this movie had included more of him and his Jeff Goldblumisms. However, we don't really have much time for that, as this movie attempts to cram more characters than the Bible into its runtime. And this is where we come to the big failing of the movie. The first one is not exactly a Hall of Fame classic either, but it's a lot of fun, and it gets a pass because the characters are likeable and it knows it's just a bit of dumb fun. This one, however, throws so many characters in the mix and it's hard to care about any of them other than Jeff Goldblum. But of course you do, because he's Jeff Goldblum. There are just too many characters and not enough story. There are situations in life where quantity over quality is definitely better. Cake, money, prostitutes, but not movies. Most of the supporting characters have no impact on the plot and have got no real reason to be there. There's some kind of African warlord whose skills apparently include stabbing and sketching. There's some kind of, I don't know, accountant who's obviously just there to be comic relief, but he's not funny. And even when you think there's no way they can introduce more side characters, a literal bus full of people shows up. I am nitpicking here and I do understand that, but there are quite a few glaring continuity errors. And maybe I was just looking at the right part of the screen at the right time, but I definitely noticed things like screens changing, appearing headsets, you know, etc. I know continuity errors are such a minor issue and don't affect anything, but it was quite off-putting and could even be lazy directing or editing. Nobody ever notices continuity errors though, so I'll give it a pass. Unintentionally funny moments are also a real problem for this film. They're clearly supposed to be serious moments, but they just come off as ridiculous. As an example, Bill Pullman announces he's going to take on the burden of what is essentially a suicide mission, and he emerges from a crowd like, "I'll do it," and it's clearly supposed to be in an emotional, charged moment. But the way that it's done just meant that the entire audience had a right wee chuckle. And at another point, Jeff Goldblum's standing next to the wreckage of a huge alien ship, and there's clearly a ramp leading up there that's like half a mile long, and Jeff Goldblum's like, "Is there any way up there?" Dude, are you joking? There's a fucking ramp like right there. I loved the design of this movie though. The story takes place in the modern day, but our technology has been seriously advanced by the use of the recovered alien technology, and it's a really cool, stylish take on a near future Earth with, you know, rotorless aircraft and Earth defense systems and bases on other parts of the solar system, and it looks fantastic. In the end, Independence Day Resurgence is a great example of all of the effort being put into the visuals and not the plot and characters. The destruction is insane, and even though the story isn't that gripping, you have to be impressed at the madness on the screen. It's exactly what you imagine Roland Emmerich's Independence Day 2 is going to be. It's big and it's stupid, but it's a lot of fun. So, if you want a movie where you can just switch your brain off and watch stuff explode for 2 hours, you could do a lot worse. But if you want any kind of engaging story, this one's not for you. I'm going to give it 3 popcorns. Thanks very much for watching my review of Independence Day Resurgence. If you liked this video and you're thinking of going to see it, please don't forget to share it with a friend. You can click the pictures below to see some of my other reviews, or you can subscribe to keep up as I put more out. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.